Most people blame the rice. Wrong rice, wrong water ratio, wrong luck. But that scorched crust welded to the bottom of your pot while the top layer stays crunchy? That's the machine, and it comes down to one thing almost nobody explains: how the heat is controlled. Cheap cookers use a magnetic switch that flips from cook to warm the instant the water disappears, which is exactly why the bottom burns. Fuzzy logic models use a microchip and temperature sensors to soak, boil, steam, and rest in separate stages so every grain hydrates evenly. Add in the shift away from PTFE coatings towards ceramic, and this category has changed more in the last few years than in the previous 2 decades. 7 machines, 7 very different people they're built for. All the links are waiting for you down in the description. Let's dive in. Starting with the Toshiba TRCS02, because it answers the question everyone actually asks: what's the cheapest way into real fuzzy logic? 3 cups uncooked, sized for 1 to 3 people, and the cooking algorithm inside punches so far above its weight it's almost unfair. Picture this. You measure steel-cut oats and water before bed, set the 24-hour delay timer, and walk away. At 7 the next morning, the kitchen smells like breakfast. The oats are creamy the whole way through, and your counter is spotless. Because unlike the bargain minis that spray starchy foam out of the vent like a tiny volcano, this one modulates pressure and keeps its mess to itself. The water lines inside are painted thick and dark, which sounds trivial until you've squinted into a dim pot at 6 in the morning. Default ratios lean toward a firmer grain, so if you like your rice with a bit of structure under sauce or curry, that's a feature. The nonstick deserves gentle treatment and a soft spatula, and the electronics are built to a price rather than to heirloom standards, but for what this costs, that's a trade most people take happily. Now flip the philosophy completely. The Aroma ARC914 SBD has no clever algorithm at all, and that's precisely the point. It's a conventional digital cooker with 4 cups uncooked, 8 cooked, a stainless exterior, a steamer tray, and a reputation for surviving abuse that borders on legendary. People move across the country 3 times, and this thing keeps going. Because the heating is binary rather than algorithmic, you do get a firmer toasted layer at the bottom if you leave it sitting on warm. Though half the people who own one chase that layer on purpose, since it's essentially the same crispy so-carrot you'd fight your family over in a paella pan. The power cord runs short, so plan your outlet. What you gain is a machine that steams salmon above your grain, simmers chili all afternoon, and has genuinely been used to bake banana bread by people with more curiosity than kitchen space. So which of those 2 wins? Depends what you fear more. The Toshiba gives you smarter cooking and gentler results. The Aroma gives you a machine that will probably outlive your lease agreement. Different anxieties, different answers. Shrink it all down and you get the Dash Mini. And this one made me laugh the first time I saw it because it's roughly the size of a large coffee mug and available in colors that match a manicure. 1 cup uncooked, 2 cooked, a removable ceramic nonstick pot, tempered glass lid, and a carry handle. It exists for the desk drawer at work, the dorm room with a single outlet, the camper van galley where a full-size cooker is a fantasy. The tiny thermal mass means it cooks fast, and it also means the standard ratios you learned elsewhere won't transfer. Expect to run a couple of test batches and land somewhere wetter than you'd guess. That light glass lid can rattle and spit a little if you skip rinsing, so rinse well and you're fine. For portion control with 0 leftovers guilt, nothing else in this lineup comes close. Here's where things get serious though, because the next machine is the one every other brand quietly measures itself against. The Zojirushi NSTSC10 is the gold standard, and after using one, you understand why people talk about it like a family member. 5.5 cups, full Micom fuzzy logic, and a soak phase that lets enzymes break starches into simpler sugars before boiling even begins. That's where the sweetness in properly cooked short grain rice actually comes from. Menu settings cover white and sushi, mixed, porridge, sweet, brown, steam, quick, even cake. The removable inner lid washes properly, the cord retracts, and the extended keep warm holds rice genuinely edible for up to 12 hours instead of turning it yellow and leathery by lunchtime. It plays a little melody when it finishes, which is objectively silly and which I would now miss desperately. The full cycle can run close to an hour thanks to that soak, so this rewards planning rather than improvising. Measure in the morning, program it for 6, come home to steaming rice. Treat the coating kindly by rinsing your grain in a separate strainer and it will serve you for a decade or more. Premium tier pricing, premium tier results. If that sounds glorious, but you'd rather your cooker also made dinner, the Tiger JBVA10U is the smarter buy. Same 5.5 cup capacity, same Micom brain, blind taste comparisons on standard short and medium grain rice land remarkably close to the Zojirushi, but the headline is the Cuckoo plate. Rinsed rice and water go in the bottom, marinated chicken thighs and broccoli florets go in the orange tray on top, and the steam rising off the boiling grain cooks the protein above. What makes it clever is the engineering. Sloped walls and side vents route steam around the food while trapping every drop of juice and marinade inside the tray so nothing drips down and muddies your rice. Complete dinner, roughly 40 minutes, one plug, almost nothing to wash. The inner lid stays attached to the body, so wiping it takes a damp cloth rather than a trip to the sink, and there's no condensation collector. Keep a towel handy when you open it. 4 buttons, no menu diving, tremendous value. Different flavor of clever with the Cuckoo CR0375FG, Korea's answer to the Japanese establishment. 3 cups uncooked, 10 cooking modes, and a texture philosophy that's genuinely different. Where Japanese brands tune their chips for separate, fluffy, slightly firm grains, Korean algorithms chase something stickier, wetter, and chewier. If you eat brown rice, GABA-activated rice, quinoa, barley, or multigrain blends regularly, this machine is calibrated for you rather than merely tolerating you. The auto-clean cycle is brilliant. Pour in a little water, press the button, and it blasts high-temperature steam through the internal valves to strip out garlic and ginger odors that linger in every other cooker. The inner lid comes fully off, solving the exact problem the Tiger has. 2 things to know. The included measuring cup holds about 180 milliliters rather than the 240 of a US baking cup, so keep it and use it. And the menu is deep enough that reading the manual once genuinely pays off. Finishing with the Kusori 10 cup, which is the answer if PTFE makes you uneasy. The inner pot is ceramic coated and free of PFAS, so scratches and chemical leaching stop being a background worry, and it rinses clean with almost no effort. 1000 watts, 6-stage fuzzy logic, 18 functions including sauté, slow cook, steam, oats and grains. You can brown chicken directly in the pot, add stock and rice, and finish the whole dish in one vessel. It handles congee beautifully, holding that thickening starch matrix without scorching or stirring. Quinoa and brown rice come out defined and fluffy rather than heavy. The matte black finish photographs stunningly and collects fingerprints just as enthusiastically, so keep a cloth nearby, and the touch panel takes a few days to feel natural after a lifetime of single-switch cookers. It's a big unit. 5 quarts of capacity needs real counter space, which makes it ideal for larger households and Sunday meal prep rather than tight kitchens. So, where do you land? For flawless sushi and short-grain rice from a machine you'll still own in a decade, the Zojirushi is untouchable. Want almost that quality plus a full meal cooked at once, the Tiger delivers. Ceramic safety, family-sized batches, and 18 functions replacing 2 appliances, that's the Kusori. Brown rice, quinoa, and multigrain in a small home, go Cuckoo for the texture and that steam cleaning trick. Real fuzzy logic on a tight budget goes to the Toshiba, bulletproof simplicity and slow-cooked chili goes to the Aroma. And if your entire kitchen is a desk drawer, the Dash Mini was made for you. Every link is sitting in the description below, sorted in the same order. Tell me in the comments which one you're leaning toward, and thanks for watching.